Hey, what up, y'all? Nurse David here, and I know it has been a while, but it's really because I've been going through some stuff lately. Some stuff that required me to go have a procedure done, some stuff that required my fiance and my parents to call 911, some actually pretty major stuff that's had me stressed out and had me pretty anxious and feeling a way that I've never really felt before. So I just wanted to come on here and explain to you guys what I've been going through because I really do miss posting content here. I feel like that really just gets my mind off of everything that's going on, and I haven't been doing that. So, yeah, I want to tell you what has been happening with me. And before I get into those details that I mentioned, we got to start at the beginning. So, I came home from work one night and my fiance got Chinese food. I love Chinese food. I mean, it's Panda Express, if you can call that Chinese. But I had my orange chicken, and all of a sudden, I feel like it gets stuck. And for the past couple years, for the past maybe 5 years, I've had trouble swallowing, but it's never been to this extent. So it got stuck, not in my airway, so to speak, but it got stuck in my chest, it felt like. And I ended up going upstairs and trying to get it out for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. My fiance had me drink some water, and at that point, I felt like the water just kind of built up behind the food that was stuck there. And in a way, I felt like I was drowning. So at that point, he called 911, and the operator walked him through the Heimlich maneuver. He's not medical like I am, but I don't even know if in this situation that I would be able to respond because it's different when it's your own family or your person. So the operator walked him through the Heimlich, and by the time EMS got here to the door, he had actually just gotten up and I was able to cough it out. And after that, I really just kind of broke down crying because my swallow has always been bad. It's never really been that good, and that's usually why I eat so slow, but it's never been this bad. Now, knowing that I have something actually truly wrong, I mean, I did before, but I guess I was in denial. Knowing that I have something wrong with my swallow, I make an appointment with my primary doctor, and she refers me to a GI doctor. So I go and see the GI specialist, and they believe that I have eosinophilic esophagitis. Now, that took me a few times to say it where I could say it like that, but that's what the diagnosis is called, and I actually have a little pamphlet here. That way I can read you the actual definition of what that is rather than me just spurring out random information. So, what is eosinophilic esophagitis? It is a particular type of inflammatory condition of the esophagus. The esophagus is the food tube that connects your mouth to your stomach. Anytime an organ in the body becomes inflamed, we attach an itis to it. Esophagitis, therefore, is inflammation of the esophagus. There are many things that can cause inflammation of the esophagus, such as acid reflux and certain infections. So before doing any type of procedure, which I did get done, she automatically said that this is fairly common and that it can be even more prevalent in younger males. So that's me. So then she schedules me for an EGD, a scope, where they're going to go down my throat, go down through my esophagus and take a look, and with the hope of stretching it out. That way the food doesn't necessarily get stuck here. It can go down much smoother because in EOE, eosinophilic esophagitis, that means that the eosinophils, which can be in the blood, can accumulate in your esophagus, making it tighter and making it harder for food to pass, which kind of goes back to my theory of why I've always ate slow, because there's some part of me that knows that I can't get large amount of foods down that quickly. I need to eat slow. So her explaining this did give me some peace of mind, but from the incident after work and calling 911, I was still very shook. Now, 2 weeks after my consultation with the GI doctor, I have another incident where I'm taking a pill at my parents' house and it doesn't get stuck in my airway. It's very different. If it was stuck in my airway, I wouldn't be able to talk, but it got stuck down here and I could feel it and it hurt. But when taking my pills, I was trying to take quite a bit of water. The water again backed up behind it, leading to me feeling like I was drowning again. Where we were in the front yard and my dad was whacking me on the back to get it down, and my mom called 911. So my dad was able to hit me hard enough where the pill dislodged and went down, thankfully, and so did the water that I did not cough up in the front yard. But then I told my mom to go ahead and cancel the EMS because there's nothing really for them to do. The episode has already passed. Again, leaving me very shaken, very anxious, and at this point, I start losing quite a bit of weight. I know this is kind of a long story, and hopefully it helps somebody, but let's go ahead and get back into it. Sorry, this is hard for me to talk about. I've been away from YouTube and filming and sitting in front of my camera and doing this. Although it feels very natural because I've been doing this for years, it's still hard to talk about when it's yourself. So 2 weeks later, after that second episode, I go and I get my scope done where they stick the camera down, they put me under anesthesia, and it felt like it took forever for me to get to this point where I could finally have it done, but I was so excited for them to do anything because I was losing weight. I started this at around 175 pounds, 173, and by the time I got to my appointment, I was in the 160s. So they put me under, I wake up not knowing anything happened, and the first question I ask the nurse that woke me up is, did they stretch it out? Because I really want to know, did they stretch it out? Am I able to eat again? Because at this point, I'm not eating much of anything other than shakes, yogurts, really puree type foods and thin liquids and mildly thick liquids. So at this point, I'm not really getting much down. But the nurse tells me, no, they weren't able to. And before even seeing the doctor, I just kind of start crying because I had put all my faith into this one procedure and it was going to stretch it and I was going to be back to normal. But the doctor comes by and she said that my esophagus is so tight and stiff that they weren't able to get the scope all the way down, which means that they weren't able to do the stretching of it. And mind you, the scope is no bigger, the camera, the tube that they're sticking down is no bigger than my pinky. So that's really saying something. Because for a moment I thought maybe I'm just going like crazy in my head, Am I overthinking this? Am I doing too much Googling? I was just getting in my own head. So she tells me that it doesn't exactly make me feel better, but it does provide answers. And she tells me we're going to have to do the scope again after we start you on some medications that loosen it up and really make it more flexible. That way when we do it again, we can go in and fully stretch it out. And I've never had like anxiety. I've never felt like I've been so anxious that I just want to run away. And this has really given me that feeling of nights where I have been here alone and I've gotten my dog and I've gotten so scared and worked up and I've worked myself up and I've just took off running. I'm like, I need to get out of here. I need to run. And it's really kind of spooked me. So now I'm here as of mid-October. Just yesterday I had an appointment with an allergy doctor to see if some not medications, but foods or allergens are causing the eosinophils to clog up my esophagus, making it more tight. So he said maybe I should stay away from wheat, but I didn't have any true food allergies, but he did prescribe me on some allergy medications. And then I also had an appointment yesterday with my GI doctor, where this was pretty much just to get a second appointment scheduled with my GI person to do another scope. And they said they might be able to get it this time because I am doing better now that I've been on these steroids. now that I'm starting the allergy medicine, now that I've been on this proton pump inhibitor, such as an antacid medication. So hopefully now that it has helped me and I can feel that I am able to swallow better, they will be able to expand it. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I'm looking forward to this next procedure, and I just want to spread awareness, because the only other time that I have ever heard about this, it was not at the bedside. It was from Jeffree Star's video. He was talking about his secret procedure where he had to go get this expanded, and I'm thinking, I thought about that video and I rewatched it because it did stick with me 3 years ago. What if I had this? What if this is a reason why I eat so slow? And this was the only reference I had. And even doing research on YouTube, trying to find people's own testimonies about what they're going through, I couldn't find very much. So although my doctors say that this is common, and it does happen, unfortunately, and even the stiffness to the point where they can't expand it can be common, I wasn't finding that online, so it was leaving me feeling like very scared. So yeah, I wanted to tell you guys a little update about me. I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than I was, and I'm back here trying to get my mind off of things. So please leave a comment saying hi, because being on YouTube is really natural for me, and I really do miss it, and I think I do need something to channel my energy into rather than overthinking these processes that are going on. But I am okay, everybody, and I'm doing better than I was. So I'll keep you guys updated after my second procedure. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.